Hi guys, in this video I'll cover with you how to use TradingView platform. Alright, this video is especially for those who are not very familiar with TradingView charting platform, and so this is created just to give you a walkthrough and show you some of the common features as how you can play around with TradingView, maneuver around it. Right, so if you type in www.tradingview.com, alright, you land in this page. Alright, this is what you're gonna see if you first time land it on TradingView. Right, so the thing that you want to take note of right now, right, is if you do not have an account, you can click join for free, right, to create an account. And if you already have an account, you can actually click sign in. Right, put in your particulars, your username and email, and then the password that you have put in, right, and then just click login. Okay, once you're logged in, the first thing they're gonna see is this dashboard, alright, where we're gonna show you top authors and some of the ideas below. But the first thing you want to do is, of course, teach you how to go into the charts itself. Okay, so you see this little tab here that has a ticker word and a little arrow. What you just need to do is click onto that arrow. Right, they'll lead you onto the chart. Right, so right now you see, let it load for a while. Right now you see this chart. Right, yours might look slightly different from mine, right, in terms of how the color or the visual of the chart is, but doesn't matter because I'll share with you how you can actually edit the visual element and how your chart looks like. Okay, but the first thing we want to take note of is there's basically three segments, right? Other than your chart, there's three segments that you can focus on. The first one is on your left hand side, right? This panel here. This is all your charting panel, right? Charting panel means you can use the tools to draw onto your chart, right? Or even some of the measurement tools to measure the price and time. The top one here is also another set of tools, right? Basically this one here. Right, look into the instruments that you want to look at, the different time frame, the type of candlesticks, and then of course you have some setting buttons as well, the indicator buttons here. Right, and the right side of this of your screen, alright, you'll be able to see your third segment of the tools. Alright, this is actually later I'll walk you through more in depth, but basically these are tools that give you options to look at your watch list, some of the messages, some of the trade ideas and notifications that you will have it on TradingView. Okay, and of course the last panel is at the bottom over here. We usually don't use it often other than the screenshot as well as the publish idea button. Right, we'll go through that in detail more. Right, but the first thing I want to walk you through is how you edit the color or the visual outlook of your chart. Alright, so you see this little gear button over here at the top. Alright, you just click into it. It's called the chart properties. Alright, a window will pop up. Okay, you can see many different tabs over here at the start. Alright, but I'll go through all of them. Alright, but basically the first one is your style. Style tab basically allows you to decide what kind of color or how does your chart looks like. Okay, so you can definitely play around with it. Alright, you can decide your border for your candlesticks, how it's going to look like. You click into it, you can select the color, you can select whether you want to show weeks or not and such. Alright, so feel free to play around with this and see how it appears on your chart. Alright, you can play around with the colors as well. Under scale, alright, this is where you can play around with how you want the data to be presented. Alright, is it in a percentage term, log scale, and etc. On default, and I would say usually what we're gonna use is we're gonna uncheck all of this here. Alright, so it becomes the default setting. Over here is some of the things that you can set. Alright, for example, symbol last value, if you want to show it. If you do not want, you can uncheck it. If you want, you can click it to show it, and etc. Alright, you can also control whether you want to show indicators value or not. Right, so if you look over here, this is an indicator, for example. Alright, you have value show over here on my chart. If I uncheck the indicator last value, you can see that the values actually is hidden. Okay, if I want it, I can check it. So it really depends on how much information you want to see on the chart. If you want to see less information, you just have to uncheck it. Alright, over here you also have indicators, labels and such. If you do not want such information, you can of course uncheck it. Okay, so for now I'll just leave it as like this. Alright, it's up to you for you to design your chart outlook. This one is your background. Alright, so the style button is more on the candlesticks and the price that is gonna be shown on your chart. Background here refers to the color of the background of your chart. Alright, so over here is black. The background is white in color. Alright, you can easily change it accordingly up to your own preference. Right, all this you can play around with it as well. Okay, time zone and session usually depends on where you are. Alright, so usually for me, I will set it at a local time of Singapore. Alright, up to you to play around with this as well. Under trading tab, alright, I usually do not use this much because we don't really trade on TradingView itself. But if you want to practice, play around with it, these are some of the options you can play around with. Alright, in terms of events and alert, alright, you can decide, this is more for stocks. If you are trading and analyzing stocks on TradingView, you can decide whether you want to show dividends on chart, whether you want to show stock splits on chart, and etc. Okay, so if you are more active on the stock market, this might be helpful for you. Alright, so other than that, once you set all your settings, what you just need to do is just click OK. Alright, and you can decide how your chart is gonna look at the end. Okay, so once you've done that, alright, the next thing I will walk you through is your tool setting first. Okay, so over here, once you mouse over your cursor, alright, to the icon, you can see this little arrow. Once you click on that little arrow, you can actually decide what are the tools that you want to select. You have more options, alright, to which tools you can select to play around with. Right. So for example, if you trade, if you want to use the trend line, just click onto it and go to your chart, and you can just click and drag. Okay, that's how you actually draw a trend line in. Okay, now you see this trend line, you have two little circles. It means that this trend line is selected. Okay, so once this trend line is selected, you have this little window that pops up, right, giving you more option to actually edit and play around with this trend line. Alright, so you can click to it, you can change the color, you can change the thickness, the type of the line, etc. Okay, you can even lock this line so that you can't move it once it's locked. Right, to select the line again, you just click onto it, then you can unlock it. Right, to delete it, there's two ways. One, you click the remove button here. The other way is you just click delete on your keyboard. Okay, so now you know how to play around with the tools. Alright, each of these tools will give you different settings. So for example, this is the horizontal line. If you click into it, you will appear this windows as well. Alright, so it's pretty similar, the ways that you can edit your drawings and such. Right, I won't go through all of them, but I'll leave you to explore the different options that you have over here. Alright, the main one that you're going to use a lot is of course your trend lines and horizontal line. Right, and of course, if you're trading a lot of fibs, this is where you're going to use a lot of fib retracement as well as trend-based fib extension. Alright, so if you click into it and you click and drag, you can click into the gear, which is gear icon, which is your settings. Alright, you can play around with your fib, you can change some of the fibs that you commonly use. You can play around all these options to see how it affects your charts. Okay, so this is some of the things that you can play around with over here. Alright, I'll leave you to explore it yourself. The next segment I will walk you through is the top one. Alright, over here you can see AAPL, alright, which is your Apple stock. So if you want to quickly load up another chart, for example, right now I want to load up my dollar index. Alright, I can search for DXY, which is the ticker for your dollar index. I see now I have three options. Alright, so if I want to track and I want to look at the chart on the CFD, alright, under US dollar index, I just have to click it, and my chart will be loaded up. Alright, so this is your symbol, your instrument that you want to analyze on. Alright, and then of course you have different time frames over here and different types of candlestick. Alright, over here this compare button is basically allowing you the option to compare another instrument with your dollar index. Alright, so if I click compare and I key in, for example, compare it with euro dollar. Alright, I click this, and you can see my euro dollar is actually loaded up onto this chart as a line. Alright, this orange color line. I can edit this by going to the line, alright, and double click it. Alright, I'll have options to actually edit how this euro dollar chart is gonna look like. Okay, I can compare it in terms of lines with breaks or lines. I can compare it, change the thickness, etc. Alright, so that's where you can play around with this comparison to check the correlation of different instruments. Okay, how to remove it? You realize that at the top left corner, alright, you have some options here. You can actually go over to euro dollar, alright, select the X button, which is delete, and the comparison chart will be gone. Okay, so the next thing to look out for in your top panel is your indicators, alright? So if you click into the indicators button, this window will pop up. You can literally select any indicators that you wish to insert into your chart, alright? In TradingView, you have your technical indicator as well as some of the economic and fundamental indicator. Okay, so for example, if I want to include RSI into my chart, I just have to search RSI. Right, under Relative Strength Index, I just have to click it and it will load it on my chart. Okay, so the first thing you want to take note of is you can maneuver and play around with how wide your indicator windows you would like to have. Second thing is, under this indicator, you realize that there's this little gear icon, okay, which is also a setting or a format button. If you click into it, this is gonna give you the ability and the option to decide how you want to edit this indicator, right? So in terms of RSI, you can edit the color, you can edit the color of the upper bandwidth, lower bandwidth, the background, as well as your upper and lower boundary as well. Right, under Inputs tab is where you're gonna decide, what period of this particular RSI indicator you want. Right, so after everything you have decided and key it in, alright, you just need to click OK, and they will change your settings accordingly. Right, a quick tip is that if you do not want to see this indicator but you do not want to delete it so that next time you can bring it up quickly, right, a quick shortcut is you go over to your chart, alright, a blank space of it, you double click it, alright, it will hide the indicator itself, alright, and next time if you want to bring it up, you just double click it again, your indicator will appear. Okay, but of course if you want to permanently remove this indicator, you can actually just click the delete button here, and then it's gonna be delayed. So next time you double click it, alright, nothing will happen. Okay, over here, this is a create alert. You can decide and explore it yourself. I won't explain that. It's pretty self-explanatory. This one is ideas that is being published. If you click onto it, it will show you all the ideas that is published on the chart. I wouldn't recommend you to do that. This little arrow, which is your undo, alright, is basically to move back one step, alright. So it's like your undo button. This is a forward button. Right, so it's very useful if you accidentally delete something or accidentally do something or draw something that you wish to undo it. Okay, so that's the top panel. Alright, now we're going to share with you what is going to happen on the right panel, some of the tools that you have. Alright, the first one, if you click onto it, you're going to expand this panel out. Okay, the first one is what we call a watch list. Alright, so at the start, when you're very new, first time using TradingView, you probably have some instruments laid out for you over here. Right, but let me delete my entire watch list. Alright, maybe you have a bit here you can delete it, and then you can start adding in your new instruments that you want to keep in your watch list to be tracked. Alright, so for example, if I want euro dollar to be added on my watch list, I just have to search euro dollar. Okay, you can see that if I search euro dollar, I have some subcategories that I can filter off. So if it's a forex pair, right, I click into Forex, I'll still see quite a bit of different options that I can select for euro dollar. Alright, so for Forex, alright, most of the time what I'll do is I'll select the options for FXCM, right, and I click into it so you can see a new symbol, a new instrument is added to my watch list. Alright, so if I'm also trading the dollar index, I can click dollar index, go over to, because it's not a Forex pair, okay, it's actually a CFD pair. I'll usually just keep it at all, alright, then I'll select CFD TVC for dollar index, alright, so I can add in more and more currencies if I want to as well. Okay, so this gives me the shortcut that in the future, if I want to look at a particular currency, I can just come to my watch list, I click onto it, it will load me up to that particular currencies. Right, so the next one here is your alerts. Alright, if you have new alerts, it will appear here. If not, we seldom use that. Right, the other tabs here, you can explore it yourself. It's pretty easy and explore. You can explore them very easily. Alright, this one is your message. It's like a TradingView chat room. Alright, I seldom use it, so if you're interested, you actually can chat in the channel, and then people might reply you, or you can reply to some other comments. You have the private message tab as well. Okay, this is where if you want, you can privately message traders, or if traders privately message you, this is where your messages is gonna land, right under PM. This idea stream is if you follow anyone, alright, you receive ideas over here and notifications over here. Right, so you seldom use all this other than your watch list. Alright, so now you have done with this, I'll walk you through the last two functions of TradingView, which is very useful. Okay, the first one here is called take an instant snapshot of your chart. So assume you have done your analysis, you want to do a screenshot, alright, other than doing a screenshot directly from your comp, you can actually click this button. It gives you the option to save it as an image or copy the URL. Alright, so most of the time to save it as an image, you click save image. It'll bring you to this new page where you can actually see this is an image. You can right click, save image as, and you decide where you want to save that image. Okay. Alternatively, what you can do is you copy this link, right, and paste it onto whoever you want to send the image to. It works as well. Right, but I would suggest you guys to save it as a JPEG in your own computer and then send that JPEG file instead. Alright, another last one button is called the publish idea. Alright, so if you click on the publish idea, you can give it a title for the ideas that you want to publish, write some description if you have any bias towards your idea, you can write some text, etc. and you can publish the idea. Okay, so if you publish the idea, where it's gonna go? It's gonna go to your profile, right, under publish ideas publish. Okay, if you publish ideas, you'll be able to see all your ideas over here, right? And if it's a public ideas, all other traders in the community of TradingView will be able to see your ideas being published as well. Okay, so if you, for example, alright, let me go to the home page of TradingView. For example, alright, these are all ideas that's been published by different traders, alright. So if, for example, I click onto this trader, okay, I can also see all his ideas that's being published. Okay, and if I would like to follow him, that means I would like to receive notification whenever he publishes a new idea, I can actually go over at the top and can select this follow option, right? So whenever this person publishes a new idea on TradingView, I'll actually receive a notification that he has published a new idea. Alright, so last thing to go through is if you want to play around, alright, zoom in, zoom out of your chart, there's this little button here that you can zoom in or zoom out. Alright, zoom in and zoom out. Or you can reset your scale by clicking the reset button. Okay. The other way to move around and maneuver your chart is that you can go over to your price scale and you can click and drag it, alright, and it will move, alright. And once you click and drag it, you go over to your chart, you click it and drag it, you can move the chart as well, right? So it's pretty cool because it's really easier to maneuver around with it compared to MT4, and it's also easier to do your charting over here on TradingView. Alright, so that's some of the basic features of TradingView covered in this video. If you have any other questions, any other things that's unclear, feel free to ask us and we might add on and explain more how you can do it on TradingView. Alright, with that, I'll talk to you in our next video.